Dear children, today we will start the new chapter, Dual Nature of Radiation and Matter. Let us see the introduction of the chapter. This lesson says about the dual nature of radiation and matter, and we are going to study about whether the radiation has wave-like properties or particle-like properties or both. Let us see the discovery of electron. In 1870, William Crookes discovered cathode rays. He done experiments on gas discharge tube, that is a vacuum tube. Okay, it is simply a vacuum tube, and it consists of electrodes at the two ends. Okay, that is the cathode and the anode. Electrodes, that is the cathode. One end, that is the cathode, and the other end, that is the anode. Then he applied the electric field inside the gas present in the vacuum tube, and the pressure is about some 0.001 millimeter of mercury column. Then when he applied the electric field, he observed that a discharge takes place between the electrodes. That is, a fluorescent glow appeared between the electrodes inside the gas discharge tube. The color of this glow, this fluorescent glow of the glass or inside the gas, it depends on the types of the glass. The color of the glow depend on the type of the glass we used. So the cause of this fluorescence was due to the radiation which appeared to be coming from the cathode. Okay, so this is the cathode and this is the anode. So the cause of this fluorescence was due to the radiation which appeared to be coming from this cathode. So these cathode rays are the simply radiations coming from the cathode. Clear? So these cathode rays were discovered by William Crookes in 1870. Then another scientist, J.J. Thomson, he used the same discharge tube used by William Crookes. He applied perpendicular electric and magnetic field across the discharge tube. By applying this one, he was the first to calculate the charge by mass ratio of the cathode ray particles. And also he discovered that the speeds of these cathode rays are about 0.1 to 0.2 times the speed of light. That is his observations. Around the same time, in 1887, it was found that when ultraviolet light falls on certain metals, negatively charged particles are emitted with small speeds. Also, certain metals, when heated to a high temperature, they emit negatively charged particles. The value of E by m, that is charge by mass ratio of these particles, was found to be the same as that of the cathode ray particles. These observations found that all these particles were identical in nature, and later they were named as electrons. In 1913, R.A. Millikan, an American physicist, he conducted experiments. So in his experiment, that is oil drop experiment, he tried to calculate the charge on an oil drop. and he found that the charge on an oil droplet was always an integral multiple of the elementary charge of the electron, that is 1.602 into 10 raised to minus 19 coulomb. That is its charge. The charge of the oil drop is same as the charge of the electron. Then after all these experiments, the scientist concluded that electron is negatively charged fundamental constituent of matter. Okay, electron is negatively charged fundamental constituent of matter, and the electron is the elementary charge, and the electric charge is quantized, that is, which means that any charge of any object is an integral multiple of this charge, that is the electron. So the electric charge is quantized, and the charge by mass ratio is equal to 1.76 into 10 raised to 11 coulomb per kilogram. From this we can find out the mass of the electron. So in this way, after conducting so many experiments by William Crookes, J.J. Thomson, R.A. Millikan, etc., they concluded that every object contains the fundamental charged particles called electrons. Clear? What is electron emission? The phenomenon of emission of electrons from a metal surface is called electron emission. So how the electrons are emitted? You know that in metals, the electrons in the outer shells of the atoms are loosely bound. That is, they are far away from the nucleus, center nucleus, and then the outermost shell electrons are there. So these electrons are far away from the nucleus. They move about freely, and they are loosely bound, so they are called the free electrons. And these electrons are responsible for the conduction of electricity. So what happens in this electron emission? If this electron try to come out, the metals become positively charged, and this positively charged, that means ion, pull the electron back. Thus there is a attractive pull between the positive ion and the electron. Okay, so this electron can come out of the metal surface only it has got sufficient energy to overcome this attractive pull. So a certain minimum amount of energy must be given to this electron to pull it out from the surface of the metal. This minimum amount of energy required by an electron to escape from the metal surface is called the work function of the metal. Okay, so once again, in the atom the electrons are loosely bound. Okay, in the atoms, that is in the metal surface, in the atoms the electrons are loosely bound. So when this electron come out from the metal surface, then what happened? Then there becomes a positive ion is created. This positive ion pull the electron back to the metal surface. So this electron cannot escape from the metal surface. Okay, so at normal temperature the electrons cannot move out from the metal surface. There is a high attractive pull between the positive ion and this electron. So to remove this electron from the metal surface, we have to give some minimum amount of energy. This minimum amount of energy is known as the work function. So what is the work function? The minimum amount of energy required by an electron to just escape from the metal surface. That is called the work function, and it is denoted by the letter phi 0. Okay, and it is measured in electron volt, EV. Then this 1 electron volt, we can define this 1 electron volt. It is the energy gained by an electron when it has been accelerated by a potential difference of 1 volt. And we can represent this 1 volt, that means the value of 1 volt in joule, that is 1.602 into 10 raised to minus 19 joule. So this is the electron emission. Okay, so electron emission means what? The phenomenon of emission of electrons from a metal surface. So to escape the electrons from the metal surface, they need a minimum amount of energy. That minimum amount of energy is known as the work function. Clear? This work function depends on the properties of the metal. Okay, so what are the factors on which this work function depends? It depends on the properties of the metal, and it depends on the nature of its surface. So for each metal surface, the work function is different. So platinum, okay, for example, the platinum metal, it has the highest work function. That means we need a high energy to remove the electron from the metal surface of the, that is platinum metal surface. That is nearly some 5.65 electron volt we need to give to remove the electron from the platinum. And similarly, for the cesium, it is the lowest, that is only 2.14 electron volt is enough to remove the electron from the cesium metal. So in this way, for each metal, the work function is different. That is the minimum energy to remove the electron from each metal surface is different. Clear? The minimum energy is applied to the free electrons in different methods. For example, first one is the thermionic emission. So thermionic emission means when a metal is heated, its free electrons gets sufficient thermal energy and they can overcome the attractive pull. This method of removal of electrons is called thermionic emission. That is, when the metal is heated, then what happens? The free electrons in the outermost shell of the atoms get sufficient thermal energy. So they can overcome the attractive pull and they can escape from the metal surface. And these emitted electrons, that is during the thermionic emission, the electrons are emitted, and these emitted electrons are called thermions or thermoelectrons. Clear? So this is the first method to give energy to the free electrons of the metal surface. Then second one, by field emission. That is, by applying a very strong electric field to a metal, electrons can be pulled out of the metal. That is like the spark plug. That is, we can apply some electric field to the metal. So because of that strong electric field, the electrons can be pulled out of the metal. That is the field emission. And the third one is photoelectric emission. When light of suitable frequency illuminates a metal surface, electrons are emitted from the metal surface. For example, when ultraviolet light falls on a metal surface, then what happens? The free electrons get sufficient energy from the ultraviolet light, then they come out from the metal surface. And this process is known as the photoelectric emission. These photo-generated electrons are called photoelectrons. So in the coming content of the chapter, we want to study about the photoelectric effect. That time I will explain in detail. Clear?